Hey you guys, you know that when you learn saxophone, everyone says, don't puff out your cheeks. Well, I think there might be a little bit more to the story because I have observed from my own experience and by watching other great players that people do puff out their cheeks. Now this week, I don't have my microphone, I don't have my studio, I'm out on tour with Wet Wet Wet, so I'm doing a very imperfect action style video this week, but I still want to bring you some value. So when I'm talking about puffing out your cheeks, I'm not talking about, like a real bullfrog puffing out your cheeks like this. You do see some players do this, but it gives you quite a wild, uncontrolled sound. What I've observed is it's a different kind of puff cheeking where it's almost like this little hamstery, like a squirrel sort of storing nuts or something in this part of your face here. So I'm going to play a few notes and I'll point to the part of your cheeks which I think are the point which puff out. And what I think this does is I think it acts as a tone control. You often hear people in general talk about airspeed and, distributing the air. I'm convinced, and the science has proven, it's absolutely nothing to do with that whatsoever. Forget airspeed. If you want more airspeed, you blow harder, okay? Puffing out your cheeks is going to have no effect on airspeed. What your mouth is, and your throat when you're playing saxophone, is a variable resonating chamber. You're changing the formula of the harmonics in the sound. So it's like a tone control. That's what's happening inside your mouth. Now, what I think happens when you do this like kind of hamster squirrel style puff out of your cheeks here, I think it mellows out some of the hard front edge of the sound. That's the way I see it. And I think it's most effective when you're playing from middle D up to about G, in that mid-range zone. It's not really effective in the lower part of the horn. And it gets a little bit more tricky when you get up to the palm keys. It doesn't really work with the voicing the way that you have to get the palm keys out. So it's a very specific range of the saxophone. I've seen lots of other players do it. No, I've never heard anybody else talk about it. And I think what you can do is you can use this little hamster cheek puff out to soften the sound a little bit and to take out some of the high frequencies. So you can change the sound going from wah to wah, ooh. I'll demonstrate this on one note so you can hear it happen for yourself. Now, I'm only using the microphone on my iPhone, so I'm not sure how clear this is coming through. But to me, it sounds like the sound goes wah, ooh. And when you do this, and it's almost like you're kind of puffing out the air in this area, the sort of front upper area of your cheeks. But it also affects a little bit of your embouchure because you can't adjust this part of your cheeks without it having an effect on the rest of your face. I mean, all the muscles are joined up. They're all connected, right? So something happens when you do the hamster puff, and it's something good and desirable, and it's something that you want to be using, especially if you want one note that it has the most effect on, it's a middle D on saxophone. Check this out. I find myself using it on ballads a lot, but not only on ballads. It's almost like a sort of proto subtone. Now, it's not what you do to get subtone, so don't get me wrong on this. This is not how you play subtone, but it softens some of the hard frequencies in that middle range of the horn. So next time you're on YouTube or you go to a live concert to see somebody, a sax player that you really love, just see if they're doing this. Just see how much variation there is in a little bit of cheek puffage. And you might be surprised. If you want to get a really great free thing and you find that these lessons are good value, check out my free Saxophone Success Masterclass. It's got a bunch of really awesome tips and tricks about playing saxophone, improvising, tone, practice, you name it, which is instantly going to make a big difference to your sax playing. So that's my free gift to you. And just before I sign off, I want to demonstrate one more thing, which is that you can do a lot with your mouth and still get a good sound. In fact, this would be a great exercise for you to try. And let's put it under the category of voicing and embouchure flexibility, because that's what you want to be able to play saxophone well. You want a lot of flexibility in your voicing. I'm just going to play some notes, and I'm going to go extremes of cheek puffage and various crazy things. And you'll see that, the sound is actually still okay. So maybe this whole don't puff your cheeks, I think, is not as clear cut as you think. Here we go. So, as you can see there in that final comical example, and I love the one with the front part of your lip fills up with air, your whole nose just moves like a little piggy. The conclusion of this video is that you can do a lot with your face and it won't compromise your sound too much, although it will have an effect. And actually, this is a great thing for you to practice. You should be trying to develop all the flexibility in your face and voicing to give you the maximum range of expression. I'm moving my face and embouchure and throat and lips and tongue around the whole time to change the sound across the ranges of the horn and to get various creative expressions out of your instrument. So I hope you have fun with this. I'm going to do another bonus video inside the inner circle. If you want to join the inner circle, use the link that you can see there. That's the best place to get access to me on a day-by-day basis, and there's loads of really awesome and cool stuff inside the inner circle. There's a solo broken down every month, there's a prize challenge, there's album of the month, there's all sorts of great bonuses in there. You're gonna love it, and you can hang out with lots of awesome sax players. So check out the inner circle. I've already mentioned my Saxophone Success Masterclass. The link is there. Apologies for the slightly down and dirty video this week, but it's an important message, and I'll keep you posted if I have any more radical thoughts about my hamster cheek puffing theory. Okay, guys, make sure that you practice hard, practice smart, and enjoy your music. And I'll see you back in the Get Your Sax Together studios next time. Take it easy.